rope policy. Do you know what that means, a red rope policy, where kind of like nightclubs in New York or some of the big cities, and you come up to the nightclub and you're standing there in front of a bouncer with a big red rope, and he's making judgments about you or the people you're with or the people in line about whether or not they can come in and be a part of their nightclub, their party, what's going on. Well, a red rope policy when it comes to us is a little bit like that. And can be a very positive thing if you can create that for your business. Hi, I'm Bill Herman. This is Creative License. And today I wanted to talk about that whole idea. There's more than a few people who take on the red rope policy when it comes to what kind of clients they work with on a regular basis. And I think there might be some of those people who take it on wrong. In other words, they don't really give a lot of thought to what that's all about. They say that, I want to meet with you because I want to be sure it's a good fit, or I want to know more about you because I want to be sure it's exactly what we can do. I want to be sure that you're the kind of client I want to work with. And honestly, a lot of guys say that, but that ain't true. They use it as a marketing technique. They use it in a way so that you feel like that you feel honored that they would take some time with you, which, that doesn't really, it's not very honest. It might work, but it's not very honest. And it doesn't honestly serve you very much if you stick with it without actually giving it some thought. If you're going to do that kind of a policy, what I would suggest is you give it some real thought. I mean, who is it that you would really work for? What do you really expect from your clients when you work with them? If you're going to do an A+ event, you're going to come with all of your talent, you're going to be an amazing person, you know what has to be in effect for you to be able to be an amazing performer for the night. The DJ that they couldn't get enough of, Mr. Super Guy, the greatest DJ in the world. And you've done that before, right? I mean, you know what was in place. There was a whole mixture of things that came together to be sure that they were unbelievably happy and you were an unbelievable rock star, right? Well, think of it as knowing what those things are so that you can look for those things within your client. I mean, why are you really doing it? Are you doing it so that your client can, are you doing it for you, or are you doing it for your client? That's a good way to think about it. I mean, the reason I meet with people has less to do with me and way more to do with them. Before they can hire me, they have to meet with me. Now, I do that on their behalf. I do it for them and for reasons that will help them in the future. Period. End of discussion. If I'm doing it just for me, then I could save a lot of time, a lot of energy, but really I want it to be for them. When it comes to that list of things, some people call it a rider. I mean, you've heard of band rider. The Aerosmith comes to town and they've got a rider, and they got to be sure that all these things are in place, including in their dressing room they've got yellow M&Ms and this kind of vodka and all of that stuff. Well, those were started to be created so that the things that needed to be in place for them to do an amazing job and be super safe happened, okay? Well, if you take just what they need to have an amazing show, now do that for yourself. Not necessarily something you give to your clients, but something that you understand, so you really know what to look for when you sit down with your clients. You're asking them, and then oftentimes in my meetings, I spend a lot of time saying, okay, well, these are the things I can't do for you. These are the things you're not going to get from me. This is how hard you're going to have to work with me and collaborate with me. Most of my meeting very much is about that. Is that the way you do things? Or are you just going through a policy that you read in a book from a sales guy about you better ask a lot of questions, you better know exactly, you better be sure that you have a red rope policy? Or do you have a red rope policy for an actual purpose? Have you asked why you have that policy and why you're doing it and who are you doing it for? I think it's really important to be sure you know those things before you move forward with your red rope policy. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to know more about the workshop, I do have a workshop in November. Every day in the United States. You can reach out to me on Facebook or email me at bill@billherman.com. Please subscribe to the Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel and tell everybody about it. And I'll see you next time on Creative License.